The Bibb House was the home of Revolutionary War Major Richard Bibb, who owned and enslaved people for 70 years. He inherited enslaved people upon the death of his father in 1769, and he was an enslaver until he died in 1839. During those 7 decades of slavery, Bibb became one of the wealthiest men in Kentucky. He owned over 100,000 acres in the state, and he developed the land with the labor and talent of his slaves who constructed buildings, roads, and dams, mined salt and coal, and raised tobacco, hemp, and other crops. These enslaved people were Bibb's property. He published an advertisement to sell likely young boys, listing them along with racehorses and whiskey stills as commodities to be bought and sold. He also offered rewards for the capture and return of runaways. The family folklore is that during the Revolutionary War, Bibb was convinced by an enslaved soldier that slavery was wrong, yet he only freed 2 enslaved people during his lifetime. He did send 31 of his enslaved people to Liberia, a new country in Africa that had been created by the American Colonization Society for the purpose of reducing the population of persons of African heritage in America. Many of those people died during the 1832 voyage due to cholera, and there is no record of any communications from those who survived the trip. When Bibb died in 1839, his last will and testament stated that all of the people who were enslaved by him were given their freedom 1 year after his death. They were given a choice of relocating to Liberia or receiving a portion of Bibb's farmland. All of the 65 people who were free chose to settle in 2 areas in Logan County that became known as Upper Bibbtown and Lower Bibbtown. Learning more about Bibb's struggle may help us examine our own lives and hopefully become more dedicated to achieving our personal goals.